The galaxy was quiet, too quiet. For centuries, stars glittered like diamonds in the black ocean of space, while planets spun silently in their paths. Civilizations rose and fell, empires stretched across light years, and yet humanity remained small, almost invisible. The Council of Elders of the Zyphar Empire looked down on Earth with amusement. "They are weak," said High Commander Varn, his voice echoing through the grand chamber of his flagship. His tentacles tapped impatiently on the holoscreen. "Primitive, insignificant, no threat to our expansion." Other alien leaders nodded. They had watched humans for decades, laughing at their fragile ships, slow technology, and limited reach. The galaxy had never feared humanity. It had never taken them seriously. Yet in the shadows of Earth, humans worked. Not with fanfare or declarations, but quietly, persistently. In the underground labs of the Pacific Ring, scientists monitored the stars. On hidden islands, engineers built ships faster than any alien imagination. In secret bases beneath deserts and forests, military strategists planned for a future no one else could see coming. Captain Elena Reyes walked through the halls of the newly built orbital shipyard. Her eyes scanned the sleek black hulls of the newest human fighters. Each one was small, unassuming, but deadly. "They think we are nothing," she said softly to her second-in-command, Lieutenant Kieran Das. "They don't know what's coming." Kieran looked at her with a mix of fear and excitement. "Do you really think we can stand against the Zyphar Empire?" Elena smiled, a small, confident smile. "They have never faced us. That is our advantage." Meanwhile, far across the galaxy, Ziffer spies transmitted their usual reports. "Humans are still weak," the report said. "No fleet capable of resisting us. No real weapons. The planet is safe for observation and eventual assimilation." In truth, the aliens were blind to the truth. Humanity's greatest strength was not in sheer numbers or brute force, but in ingenuity, adaptability, and resilience. Every failure had taught them lessons. Every challenge had made them stronger. And now the humans were ready. On Earth, news broadcasts ran as usual. People talked about weather, politics, and sports. No one noticed the strange flare of light in the farthest reaches of the solar system. No one saw the subtle movements of satellites being replaced with stealth probes. To the world, life went on. But the galaxy was about to learn that life on Earth was far from ordinary. In orbit above Mars, a team of engineers worked on a new experimental ship. Its design was unlike anything humans had shown the world. Sleek, angular, almost invisible to the naked eye. "This ship will change everything," said Dr. Wei, adjusting the control panel. "If the Zyphar think they can detect us, they will be very wrong." Deep within the forests of North America, human soldiers trained in complete silence. They practiced maneuvers, navigation, and tactical strikes. Their weapons were different from the old guns of Earth's history. Laser-precise, AI-assisted, able to adapt mid-combat. Every soldier understood one thing. The galaxy underestimated them, and that was their secret weapon. Back in the Zyphar Council, Commander Varn laughed. "Even if they have something new, it will not matter. Our fleets are thousands strong. Our weapons are tested across hundreds of worlds. A small backward species cannot defeat us." Yet across the void, tiny human scouts moved unseen, monitoring the movements of Zyphar fleets. Every observation, every data point, every anomaly was recorded. Humanity was patient, humanity was quiet, and humanity was preparing. In the skies over New York, Elena looked down at the city lights. She remembered the history books, centuries of humans struggling, surviving, and advancing despite the odds. "We are small," she whispered, "but we are ready to roar." The first test of human technology was about to begin. A probe, no larger than a car, slipped past Zyphar sensors and reached the outer edges of their fleet. The aliens did not notice. They laughed at the empty space where the probe moved silently, and then the probe sent a signal back to Earth. It was not a call for help, nor a report of failure. It was a message, a single line of data that showed a weakness in the Zyphar's shield formations. Humanity had found a crack, a small, almost invisible gap in the mightiest empire in the galaxy. On Earth, scientists cheered quietly. "They won't see us coming," said Kieran. "Not until it's too late." Meanwhile, Zyphar fleets continued their patrols unaware. To them, the galaxy was calm, orderly, and under their control. They did not know that the silent humans were weaving a plan that would change everything. Elena stood on the observation deck, looking at the stars. They think this is quiet, she said. They think we are weak. But the galaxy will remember this moment, the moment humanity decided it was time to fight back. The first strike would come soon. Not with millions of ships, not with overwhelming force, but with precision, cunning, and determination. Humanity had learned to survive. Humanity had learned to adapt. And now humanity was ready to show the galaxy its true strength. In the silent darkness of space, the first human fleet moved into position. Invisible, small, and deadly. The galaxy had never expected this. And yet, as the stars twinkled silently above, there was a feeling of anticipation. Something was about to happen. Something that would shake the Zephyr Empire to its core. A single thought ran through Elena's mind as she prepared for the unknown. They will regret underestimating us. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy would see humans not as weak, not as insignificant, but as a force to be reckoned with. And the galaxy would never be the same again. The galaxy was still unaware. While the Zephyr Empire celebrated its supposed dominance, humans quietly prepared their resistance. Their strength was not in numbers, but in their patience and ingenuity. Every move they made was precise, calculated, and hidden from alien eyes. In the underground laboratories beneath the Rocky Mountains, engineers worked tirelessly. Lights flickered across the room, casting long shadows on consoles crowded with blinking screens. Dr. Amina Patel adjusted a holographic projection of a Zephyr fleet. Every detail mattered, the placement of shields, weapon ranges, and patrol routes. "We've found another weakness," she said to her team. Her voice was calm but carried a spark of excitement. "If we strike here, we can disable their communication network without them noticing." Her assistant Jiro leaned closer. "But the fleet is huge. Even if we manage that, what then?" Amina smiled. "Then we watch, we learn. Every empire has a pattern. Every empire has a blind spot. The Zephyr are no different." Across the Pacific, Captain Elena Reyes reviewed the latest human fleet formations. Stealth ships, small fighters, and experimental AI-controlled drones were positioned strategically. Each ship was capable of incredible speed and agility, but alone they seemed harmless. The aliens would never suspect the threat hiding in plain sight. Elena turned to Lieutenant Kiran Das. "Our fleet will not attack blindly. Every move is deliberate. Every strike is a lesson," Kiran nodded. "I just hope our patience doesn't cost us too much time." "Patience is our greatest weapon," Elena replied. "They will underestimate us, and that will be their mistake." Meanwhile, on the Zephyr homeworld, Commander Varn watched reports from scouts. "Humans are still primitive," he said, brushing a tentacle over a console. "No fleet, no real weapons. They are insignificant." But not all Zephyr agreed. General Tarek, a veteran of many interstellar wars, frowned. "We should not ignore them entirely. There is something unusual in their signals, something we cannot detect fully." Varn waved him off. "Paranoia will not save you. Humanity is weak, that is all." Back on Earth, the humans were not wasting time. They practiced night drills on isolated islands. Soldiers moved silently through dense forests, learning to navigate, communicate, and strike without being seen. Every exercise prepared them for encounters with a superior enemy. Lieutenant Morrow, a young but skilled tactician, observed his unit. "Remember," he said quietly, "the galaxy thinks we are harmless. That is our advantage. We fight smart, not loud." In orbit above the moon, stealth satellites recorded Zephyr movements. Engineers analyzed the data, predicting the Empire's response to any human action. Every detail was studied, every pattern memorized. Humans were creating a map of the galaxy's blind spots, an invisible guide for the strikes to come. In a hidden bunker beneath the Sahara Desert, scientists tested a new weapon system. It was small, portable, and designed to disrupt alien shields. If used correctly, it could neutralize a fleet without engaging in a full-scale battle. Dr. Patel monitored the simulation. "This could save countless lives," she said softly. Kiran stood beside her, eyes fixed on the display. "It's incredible how much we've achieved without anyone noticing." "Exactly," Amina said. "We are invisible. That is our greatest strength." The first whispers of resistance were ready to move. Small attacks, subtle disruptions, and silent surveillance, all designed to confuse the Zephyr. Humanity's message to the galaxy would not come with fanfare. It would arrive quietly, leaving destruction in its wake and disbelief in its aftermath. Yet even as humans prepared, tension filled the air. Not all humans were confident. Some feared the enormity of the task ahead. Could a small planet, a single species, truly challenge a vast interstellar empire? Elena knew their doubts, but she refused to give in to fear. Courage is not the absence of fear, she told her officers. It is acting despite it, and humanity has always acted when survival demanded it. The night before the first test operation, the human fleet gathered in orbit near a remote asteroid belt. Ships rested silently, engines humming softly, hidden behind natural space debris. Inside the command ship, Elena stood before a holographic display. "This is not a battle for glory," she said. "This is a battle for our future. We strike only to learn, to observe, and to survive. The galaxy believes we are weak. Let us show them they are wrong." Kieran adjusted his uniform, eyes scanning the ships. "Do you think they will notice us?" "They will notice soon enough," Elena replied, her voice steady. "And when they do, it will be too late." The humans moved with precision. Small drones slipped past Zyphar patrols, recording movements and testing responses. Stealth fighters navigated asteroid fields, practicing evasive maneuvers. Every action was carefully calculated, every risk measured. In the Zyphar Council, reports of minor disruptions began to arrive. Communications were interrupted briefly. Ships seemed to disappear and reappear, and strange signals puzzled even the most experienced commanders. Varn scowled. "These humans are irritating but insignificant. Send more scouts. They cannot be more than a nuisance." General Tarek frowned. "Sir, they are learning. Their movements are deliberate, not random. We may have underestimated them." Varn dismissed him. "Paranoia again, Tarek. Humanity is nothing." But the humans knew better. Each small success fueled their confidence. Each unnoticed movement strengthened their strategy. Humanity was no longer passive. It was a whisper that would soon become a roar. Elena watched her fleet from the command bridge. The first mission was simple yet vital. A small strike to test alien responses and identify weaknesses. Success would prove that humans could challenge even the greatest power in the galaxy. As the fleet moved into position, silence fell across the command deck. Every crew member understood the stakes. One mistake could alert the Zyphar and bring destruction. One success could mark the beginning of humanity's rise. The first operation began. Drones slipped past sensors, stealth fighters moved into formation, and the human fleet waited. Every eye was focused, every mind alert. In that quiet moment, Elena whispered to herself, "The galaxy thinks we are weak. But they will learn the truth." The whisper of resistance had begun, and once it grew, there would be no turning back. The galaxy's silence was about to be broken. Humanity was ready to strike. The galaxy slept under a false sense of security. The Zyphar Empire believed humans were weak, a minor species that posed no real threat. But humans were patient, and patience had a purpose. The first strike had been planned for years, every detail calculated, every risk measured. Captain Elena Reyes stood on the bridge of the command ship Aurora, her eyes fixed on the holographic display of the distant Zyphar outpost. Small lights flickered across the screen, alien ships patrolling in predictable patterns. "They won't expect this," she whispered to herself. "Not from us." Lieutenant Kieran Das adjusted the fleet's coordinates. "All units are in position, Captain. Drones are deployed, stealth fighters are ready. Once we move, there's no turning back." Elena nodded. "This is not a battle for glory. It's a test. A single strike to show them that humanity is no longer defenseless." Across light years, Zyphar commanders were oblivious. Their patrols moved with confidence, and their sensors showed no sign of the humans hiding in the asteroid field nearby. "These humans cannot even challenge us," High Commander Varn said, sipping a glowing blue liquid. A small nuisance at best, but Varn did not see the subtle shimmer of stealth drones slipping past his sensors. He did not hear the soft hum of human engines weaving silently around his outpost. In orbit above the target planet, Elena gave the signal. "Strike teams, engage." Small human fighters dropped from stealth, moving like shadows across the void. They were fast, agile, and almost invisible. The first drones activated, slipping into the Zyphar communications grid, disabling transmitters and sending false signals to confuse the aliens. Inside the outpost, Zyphar officers noticed anomalies. Systems flickered, messages failed to send, and ships appeared to vanish and reappear. Panic spread quickly. "What is happening?" One officer shouted. "Our sensors are failing." But the humans were careful. Every strike was calculated, designed to maximize impact while remaining undetected. The first drone disabled a shield generator, leaving a small section of the outpost exposed. Another drone took control of communication relays, sending false messages of fleet movements. Elena's voice rang over the fleet. Focus on precision. Avoid unnecessary destruction. Observe, adapt, and report. Lieutenant Kieran watched as the stealth fighters navigated through the asteroid belts, dodging patrols and laser fire with uncanny accuracy. They're moving like ghosts, he said, awe in his voice. The Zephyr will never see this coming. And they didn't. High Commander Varn ordered a counter-sweep, assuming it was a minor technical glitch. It's nothing, just a malfunction. Prepare for routine patrols, he commanded, unaware that the humans had already mapped every blind spot in his defenses. Back on Earth, Dr. Amina Patel monitored the operation from her command center. All systems are performing above expectations, she reported to Elena. The drones are in place and the strike is executing perfectly. Elena allowed herself a brief smile. Humanity had planned for this moment for decades, refining every tactic, testing every scenario. Now the galaxy would witness the result. Inside the Zyphar outpost, alarms blared. Shields failed in isolated sections. Weapon systems faltered and communications became chaotic. Officers ran from console to console, trying to understand the sudden disruptions. It's impossible, one shouted. Our systems should be flawless. Elena observed it all calmly. This is only the beginning, she said softly. They think we are weak, but they will learn quickly. The human fighters moved with precision, striking key installations that disabled defensive turrets and sensor arrays. Every move was strategic, no unnecessary destruction, only calculated actions that would leave the Zephyr confused and vulnerable. One fighter pilot, Lieutenant Mara Chen, piloted through the chaos. Her ship glided silently past laser fire, delivering a disruption device to a primary energy core. The explosion was small, controlled, but enough to disable a section of the outpost. She reported back, "Strike completed, Captain. The sector is destabilized." Elena's voice crackled through the comms. "Excellent. Return to stealth formation. Observation phase begins." Meanwhile, Commander Varn struggled to regain control. "Alert all units! We are under attack!" His tentacles slammed on the console in frustration. "But as we cannot locate the source, it's as if they are invisible." General Tarek frowned, watching the readouts. "Sir, these are coordinated movements. They are not random. Humanity. They are striking with intelligence. This is unprecedented." Varn's face darkened. "Impossible. Humans are weak. We have underestimated nothing." But it was too late. Humanity's first strike had not only disabled key systems, it had shattered the Zyphar illusion of superiority. Their arrogance was crumbling, replaced by confusion, fear, and disbelief. Elena allowed the human fleet a moment to observe the aftermath. "They are panicking," she said. "They thought this was impossible. That is exactly the effect we need." Back on Earth, civilians went about their lives, unaware of the historic operation unfolding in distant space. But for the humans involved, every moment was critical. Each action had to be precise, each decision crucial. Failure could expose them prematurely. Success would mark the start of humanity's rise. As the strike continued, Zyphar officers scrambled desperately to restore systems. Ships flared to life, weapons recalibrated, and shields rebooted, but the human drones had already adapted. Every countermeasure the Zyphar tried was anticipated. Every move was countered with clever strategy. Lieutenant Kieran glanced at Elena. "They're learning too fast. Every adjustment we make seems to outmatch their response." Elena nodded. "That is because we learned from every challenge. Humanity adapts. Humanity endures. That is what they never saw coming." After hours of precise strikes and strategic sabotage, the human fleet withdrew into stealth. Not a single ship was lost. The Zyphar were left scrambling to repair the damage, their confidence shattered, their arrogance questioned. Commander Varn glared at the flickering displays. How could this be? They are supposed to be weak." General Tarek approached cautiously. "Sir, I warned you. Humanity is not what we thought. We have underestimated them." Varn turned sharply. "No, we underestimated nothing. This is an anomaly, but it cannot be repeated." Far away, Elena watched the retreating lights of her fleet. "First strike complete," she said. Observation is key. They will rebuild, but they will never see us the same way again. The galaxy had learned its first lesson. Humanity was no longer weak. Humanity had struck, and it had done so with intelligence, precision, and patience. Elena looked at the stars, a sense of calm determination in her eyes. They will adapt, yes. They will fight back. But so will we. And humanity will never stop learning. The first strike was only a beginning, a whisper of resistance that would grow into a roar, and the Zephyr Empire, for all its arrogance, had finally realized that the humans they had dismissed were far more dangerous than anyone could have imagined. The Zephyr Empire had never been so shaken. For the first time, their arrogance was pierced by fear. Their systems had faltered, their patrols confused, and their officers humiliated. Humanity had struck, and the galaxy was beginning to take notice. High Commander Varn paced the bridge of his flagship, tentacles clattering against consoles. "How is this possible?" he hissed. "Our fleets are strong. Our defenses are flawless, and yet they struck us with precision. With intelligence, with cunning." General Tarek watched silently, his eyes narrowed. "Sir, we cannot underestimate them any longer. Humanity has shown capabilities beyond their size. They are learning faster than we anticipated." Varn waved him away. "Learning? They are small, primitive. This is a minor nuisance. Send the fleets. Crush them. Show them that the Zephyr Empire is unstoppable." Meanwhile, in orbit around Earth, Captain Elena Reyes prepared her fleet. The first strike had been a success, but the humans knew that retaliation was inevitable. "They will come," she said to Lieutenant Kiran Das. "The Zephyr will not tolerate failure, but we are ready." Kiran adjusted the controls of his ship. "Do you think our defenses will hold?" Elena looked at the distant stars, calm and determined. "They will have to try harder than they think. Humanity fights smart, not blindly." Across the galaxy, Zephyr fleets began their counterattack. Ships moved in tight formations, weapons charged, and sensors scanned for any sign of human activity. Their goal was simple: find the intruders and annihilate them. But humans had anticipated this. Every fleet movement, every patrol route had been studied and mapped. The first strike had been a learning tool, revealing the Zephyr's patterns, strengths, and weaknesses. Now humanity would use that knowledge to survive. Stealth ships slipped through asteroid fields and debris, invisible to the Zephyr sensors. Small fighters darted in and out of the shadows, drawing enemy fire only when necessary. Drones disrupted communication channels, feeding false data and creating confusion. In the midst of chaos, Lieutenant Mara Chen piloted her fighter skillfully. She observed Zephyr ships charging their weapons, ready to retaliate. With a precise calculation, she deployed a pulse device that temporarily disabled the enemy's targeting system. The ships floundered, firing blindly while humans moved with silent efficiency. Elena watched the battle unfold on the holoscreen. "Focus on evasion and observation," she commanded. "We do not need to destroy them all. We need to survive and learn. Let them waste their strength on shadows." In the Zephyr command deck, alarms blared endlessly. "They are ghosts," shouted a young officer. "We cannot hit them." "Sensors fail. Communications are scrambled." Commander Varn slammed his tentacle onto the console. "Impossible. How can a species so small and weak move so freely? Find them. Destroy them." General Tarek's voice was calm but tense. "Sir, they are not weak. They are intelligent, adaptable, and they are striking in ways we cannot predict. This is not a minor threat. Humanity has grown into something dangerous." Varn's face twisted with rage. "Dangerous? They are insects. Send the drones. Send the elite fleet. Crush them." Back in the asteroid belt, Elena coordinated her units. "They are sending everything at us. Hold formation. Evade, adapt, and keep moving. Watch their patterns and report anomalies." Kiran's fingers flew over the controls. "They're adapting their tactics faster than we predicted. They're aggressive, but still predictable if we analyze carefully." The human fleet exploited every Zephyr weakness. Small fighters drew attention while drones disabled shield generators. Communications were intercepted and manipulated, feeding false locations and phantom attacks. Humanity fought like shadows, hitting hard only when it mattered, retreating before the enemy could respond. On the Zephyr flagship, panic was spreading. Officers argued, systems failed repeatedly, and fleets were disorganized. For the first time, cracks appeared in the Empire's legendary discipline. Commander Varn could feel it, his control slipping. They are learning too fast. This should not be possible. General Tarek said nothing. He knew it was already happening. Humanity had not only survived the first strike, they had survived the counterattack, adapting faster than any species Varn had faced. Meanwhile, on Earth, Dr. Amina Patel observed the battle from the command center. "They are testing everything we taught them," she said. "Every move is being observed, every mistake recorded. They are learning from us. Humanity will grow stronger after this." Elena's voice was calm, almost serene. "Good, let them try. Let them waste energy and resources on empty pursuits. Our advantage grows with every mistake they make." The chaos reached its peak when a Zephyr fleet attempted to flank the human forces. Lieutenant Mara Chen saw it first. "Captain, they're trying to encircle us." Elena's mind raced. "Divert the decoys. Lead them into the trap. Draw them away from the fleet." The plan worked. Zephyr ships, confident in their superior numbers, fell into the carefully calculated ambush. Human drones disrupted their shields. Stealth fighters harassed their flanks, and confusion spread like wildfire. The once proud fleet stumbled, taking heavy losses, unable to coordinate. High Commander Varn roared in fury. "How can they do this? They are only human." General Tarek's expression was grim. "Not only human, sir. They are exceptional, and they are not afraid of us." In the asteroid field, Elena allowed herself a small smile. Humanity had survived the Zephyr counterattack. Their tactics had worked, their patience had paid off, and their strategy had turned the enemy's aggression into a disaster for the Zephyr. But she knew this was only the beginning. The Empire would rebuild, reorganize, and strike again. Humanity had survived today, but the galaxy was vast and danger was everywhere. As the human fleet withdrew into stealth, the Zephyr were left to count their losses and repair the damage. Their arrogance had been shattered, replaced by confusion, fear, and grudging respect. Elena addressed her fleet over comms. "Well done. Today we survived. Tomorrow we learn more. Every strike, every movement, every observation brings us closer to our ultimate goal. Humanity is growing stronger. Humanity is learning. And the galaxy will remember that we are no longer weak." Lieutenant Kiran Das looked at the stars, his voice quiet. "They will come back, stronger, faster, and this time they will not underestimate us." Elena nodded. "Then we will be ready. Humanity has survived chaos before. Humanity has adapted. Humanity endures." The first battle of counterattack and chaos had ended, but the galaxy had changed. The Zephyr Empire was no longer invincible, their confidence shaken, and humanity's legend had begun to spread. And somewhere in the dark reaches of space, other alien civilizations watched silently. The story of humanity's resistance would not remain hidden for long. The galaxy was awakening to the truth. Humans were no longer weak. Humans were dangerous. Humans could strike, adapt, and survive. The silent whispers of resistance were growing louder. Humanity's roar was approaching. The galaxy was beginning to whisper about humanity. News of the first strike and the Zephyr counterattack had traveled faster than anyone expected. Across distant systems, alien commanders were confused, questioning the intelligence reports they had once trusted. Humans were no longer a minor annoyance, they were a mystery. Captain Elena Reyes stood on the observation deck of the command ship Aurora, gazing at the stars. The first strikes had worked. Humanity had survived Zephyr retaliation, but she knew the Empire would rebuild. They would adapt. The next moves had to be decisive, and humans had secrets the Zephyr could never anticipate. Lieutenant Kiran Das approached, his brow furrowed with concern. "Captain, our scouts report increased Zephyr activity. They are reorganizing fleets, reinforcing key systems. If they discover our stealth networks, everything could be exposed." Elena turned, calm but determined. "Let them come. They are moving blindly into the trap we have prepared. Humanity has been underestimated for too long. It's time to show them the full truth." Far below Earth, in a hidden desert base, Dr. Amina Patel and her team activated the newest human technology. Cloaked warships, AI-guided drones, and energy-based weapons hummed with silent power. These were not the ships or devices humans had displayed before. They were hidden for a reason. The Zephyr believed humanity's technology was primitive, incapable of challenging the galaxy's mightiest fleets. They were wrong. "We've been waiting for this moment," Amina said softly, observing the final calibrations. These systems have never been deployed in real combat. If the Ziffer don't know about them, we can strike with full advantage. Meanwhile, Elena's fleet moved closer to the Ziffer border systems. Every step was deliberate. Stealth ships navigated asteroid belts and nebulae, avoiding patrols. Small fighters conducted reconnaissance, mapping enemy positions while remaining invisible. Humanity's strategy was simple. The enemy would not see them coming, and when they did, it would be too late. Lieutenant Mara Chen piloted her fighter with precision, watching the holographic projections of Zyphar fleets. Captain, they're reinforcing the outer sectors. Their response is faster than last time, but still predictable. Elena nodded. Exactly. Predictable is something we can exploit. Prepare the AI drones. We strike only where they are weakest. Across the galaxy, High Commander Varn fumed. The first strikes had embarrassed him. The counterattack had failed. Now he ordered every fleet to hunt the humans relentlessly. They cannot hide forever, he growled. We will find them and destroy them completely. But the Ziffer did not know the full extent of humanity's secrets. Cloaking technology rendered ships invisible to their sensors. Energy disruptors could disable weapons before they even fired. AI-guided drones could manipulate systems remotely, creating illusions and false signals. Every weapon, every ship, every strategy had been developed in secrecy for this very moment. In orbit above Mars, Elena gathered her officers. Today we reveal our true strength, she said. This is not just survival. This is humanity showing the galaxy that it cannot be underestimated. Each unit has a role. Precision, observation, and adaptation are our keys. Remember, we do not strike recklessly. We strike intelligently. Kieran adjusted his controls, eyes scanning for anomalies. Captain, I can see the first energy disruptors are ready. Once deployed, Zyphar weapons will malfunction in ways they cannot predict. Good, Elena replied. Let the secrets unfold. The first engagement began quietly. Human drones slipped past the outermost patrols, sending signals that misled the Zyphar into thinking the fleet was in a different sector. Cloaked warships positioned themselves in hidden orbits, their energy weapons charged but concealed. The Ziffer, confident in their numbers, moved forward without caution. Inside the Ziffer outpost, alarms began again, but this time, the response was different. Weapons failed without warning. Shields dropped in isolated areas. Sensors blinked erratically. Officers scrambled, but nothing made sense. Every system humans had touched operated in ways the Zyphar could not understand. Commander Varn's tentacles flew across the control panels. Impossible. These systems, they are manipulating ours. How can such a primitive species have this technology? General Tarek's voice was quiet, cautious. Sir, they have hidden resources. We were blind to them. Humanity is no longer what we expected. Elena's fleet watched carefully, letting the chaos unfold. Every action was monitored, every mistake recorded. Humans had prepared for this. Every disruption of Zyphar systems revealed another weakness, another opportunity. Lieutenant Mara Chen launched a stealth strike on a primary energy conduit. The result was immediate. Multiple Zyphar ships lost power, drifting helplessly in orbit. Strike successful, she reported. Systems offline in Sector 7. Elena's voice was calm but firm. Excellent. Withdraw and regroup. Let them panic. Let them learn the cost of underestimating humans. Dr. Patel monitored the operation from Earth. They're using every advantage we built into these ships. Cloaking, AI, energy disruptors. They're performing flawlessly. Humanity's secrets are their shield, their weapon, and their advantage. As the battle unfolded, the Zyphar Empire realized their first true defeat. Not by sheer force, not by massive fleets, but by intelligence, strategy, and the hidden power humans had nurtured in secret. They had underestimated humanity for centuries, and now the cost was clear. High Commander Varn roared in anger. We must regroup. Deploy all forces. Hunt them down. Show them the strength of the Zyphar Empire. General Tarek shook his head. It may be too late, sir. Their technology, their tactics, it's unlike anything we have faced. Humanity has grown stronger while we slept. Elena watched the holographic displays of the alien fleets, now confused and scattered. This is just the beginning, she said. The galaxy has learned one thing. Humans have secrets, and we will use every one of them. Lieutenant Kiran Das smiled slightly. They still think they can fight us. They still think they understand us. Elena's eyes were steady, filled with determination. Let them try. Every move they make is predictable if we analyze it carefully. Every attack they plan can be turned into an opportunity. Humanity survives, adapts, and strikes where it matters most. The Zephyr fleets faltered, struggling to regain order. Human drones continued to manipulate systems, creating phantom attacks and false vulnerabilities. Cloaked warships observed silently, waiting for the perfect moment to strike again. Every step of the humans' plan was unfolding exactly as intended. The first revelation of humanity's secrets had changed the course of the conflict. The Zephyr could no longer rely on their arrogance, their numbers, or their superior firepower. Humanity's ingenuity and hidden technology had rewritten the rules of engagement. Elena looked at her officers and said, "Remember this moment. Today we showed the galaxy that humanity is not weak. Our secrets are our strength, and we will use them wisely. The Zephyr will never see the next move coming." Kieran nodded, watching the scattered alien fleets. "They won't. And the galaxy will remember that humans are not to be underestimated." As the human fleet regrouped, a sense of calm determination filled the command deck. The first revelation of hidden power had been a success. Humanity's strength was no longer a secret among themselves. It was now a warning to the galaxy. The Zephyr Empire would rebuild, adapt, and strike again. But humanity had already gained the advantage. Knowledge, strategy, and hidden technology had shifted the balance. The empire that had once laughed at Earth now trembled before it. And somewhere in the darkness of space, other alien civilizations began to notice. Whispers of humanity's power spread quietly. The galaxy had learned a new truth. Humans were clever, adaptable, and armed with secrets the universe could not anticipate. The stage was set. Humanity's rise had begun. The next battles would be larger, more dangerous, and more decisive. But for now, humanity had unveiled its secrets and survived. The galaxy would never forget this day, and the Zephyr Empire, proud and arrogant for centuries, had learned the first lesson in fear. The galaxy trembled as the Zephyr Empire regrouped. Their fleets, once organized and unstoppable, were now scattered, confused, and wary. Humanity's first strikes and the revelation of their hidden technology had shaken the Empire's confidence. The arrogance that had once defined them was replaced with caution and fear. Captain Elena Reyes stood on the command bridge of the Aurora, observing the distant flashes of alien ships struggling to coordinate. "They're panicking," she said softly. "The Zephyr believe they are strong, but they are beginning to realize their weakness." Lieutenant Kieran Das studied the holographic displays. "They've deployed all their elite forces in multiple sectors. They want to overwhelm us before we strike again." Elena's eyes narrowed. "Then we make them regret it. Every move they make is predictable if we analyze it carefully. Humanity survives by outthinking, not overpowering." Across the galaxy, Zephyr fleets surged toward human-held territories. Ships that had once glided with confidence now moved cautiously, scanning for unseen threats. Their technology was superior in theory, but against humans who adapted faster and fought smarter, it became a liability. On Earth, Dr. Amina Patel monitored live feeds from the human fleet. "The Zephyr are trying to reorganize," she said to her colleagues. "But they're already reacting to phantom signals we've sent. They don't know where the real fleet is. They can't anticipate our moves." Elena addressed her officers over the comm system. "We take advantage of their fear, divide their forces, confuse them, lead them where we want them, and strike with precision. This is the turning point." Lieutenant Mara Chen piloted a stealth fighter through a dense asteroid field. "Captain, the outer fleet is in position. They're moving toward our decoys exactly as planned." "Good," Elena replied. "Let them waste energy and resources. Our real targets are the inner strongholds." Drones activated silently, disabling key Zephyr communication arrays. Energy disruptors rendered weapons useless in isolated zones. Cloaked warships observed from the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment. Humanity's hidden technology and strategic patience were turning the tide of the war. In the Zephyr command center, High Commander Varn's tentacles slammed on the console. "They're ghosts! They are everywhere and nowhere. Our fleets cannot hold against them." General Tarek spoke quietly, fear in his voice. "Sir, we underestimated them. Every engagement reveals more of their power. They are not just survivors, they are strategists. Humanity adapts faster than we can respond." Varn's face twisted with fury. Impossible. They are insignificant. We are the Zephyr Empire. No species should outmatch us. But the truth was clear. The humans were turning the battle to their advantage. They had predicted every Zephyr maneuver, prepared countermeasures, and exploited weaknesses the Empire did not even know existed. Elena gave the order for the next phase. Deploy strike teams to the inner sectors. Drones lead the way. Fighters follow and engage only when necessary. Cloaked ships, position yourselves for maximum observation. The human fleet moved with silent efficiency. Small groups of stealth ships slipped past patrols, mapping out critical supply lines and command centers. Drones disabled shields, created phantom attacks, and drew the Zephyr into traps. Every move was precise, every action deliberate. Lieutenant Kieran watched the display and spoke with quiet confidence. They're trying to adapt again, but it's too late. Their fleets are split. Confusion spreads like wildfire. Elena's eyes gleamed with determination. Good, keep observing. Every mistake they make strengthens our strategy. Every lost ship gives us more control. In the inner sectors, human strike teams began coordinated attacks. Key energy hubs were disabled, supply lines cut, and communication networks rendered useless. The Zephyr fleets floundered, unable to regroup. Ships drifted helplessly in orbit, weapons offline, shields failing. Mara Chen piloted her fighter toward a critical supply depot. Captain, I have visual on the target. It's lightly defended due to their focus on outer defenses. Proceed, Elena replied. Precision, efficiency. Humanity cannot afford reckless destruction, only strategic victories. The depot's energy core was neutralized within moments, and drones created a signal mimicking a large-scale assault. Zephyr commanders diverted fleets, leaving critical sectors unprotected. Humanity's trap worked perfectly. Back on Earth, Dr. Patel observed the operation. They're exploiting every advantage we've built. The Zephyr have no idea what hit them. Their own strength is being used against them. Elena watched the holographic projections, feeling a rare sense of calm satisfaction. The tide is turning. They may have underestimated us, but now they cannot recover without suffering more losses. Humanity is in control. The Zephyr command bridge was chaos. Officers shouted, alarms blared, and fleets collided in confusion. High Commander Varn's fury was matched only by his fear. How can a small species dismantle our forces so efficiently? This is unacceptable. General Tarek stepped forward cautiously. Sir, this is the result of strategy, not luck. Humanity is intelligent, adaptive, and relentless. They are turning the galaxy against us one step at a time. Varn growled. We will not fail. Regroup the fleets. Strike back with everything we have. But the humans had already anticipated this. They did not need to overpower the Zephyr. They only needed to guide them into making mistakes. Every counterattack by the Zephyr became an opportunity. Every desperate maneuver exposed vulnerabilities. Lieutenant Kieran noted the movement of a Zephyr elite fleet. Captain, they're trying to encircle our strike teams. It looks dangerous, but it's exactly what we anticipated. Elena nodded. Then we lead them into the trap. Drones, simulate phantom attacks in sectors 3 and 5. Fighters, follow me. Cloaked ships, prepare to observe and strike if needed. The Zephyr fleet fell into the trap with alarming speed. Confused by false signals and phantom attacks, ships collided, fired on the wrong targets, and exposed critical vulnerabilities. Human strike teams neutralized key ships without significant losses. High Commander Varn's voice was filled with desperation. We cannot lose control. Humanity is adapting faster than we are. General Tarek said nothing, realizing the truth. The humans had turned the tide. They had survived, outthought, and outmaneuvered the empire that had once laughed at them. On the human command bridge, Elena addressed her officers. Remember this day. Humanity has survived the impossible, adapted under pressure, and taken control. But this is only the beginning. The galaxy is vast and our work is far from over. Today we turn the tide. Tomorrow we will continue to strike intelligently and the Zephyr will never be the same. Lieutenant Kieran smiled. Captain, the outer and inner sectors are destabilized. Their fleets are scattered. Humanity controls the flow of the battle. Elena's eyes were steady, her voice filled with calm determination. Then we maintain control. Humanity fights not with reckless force, but with intelligence, patience, and courage. The galaxy will remember this moment. As the human fleet regrouped, the Zephyr Empire struggled to regain order. Ships that had once represented unstoppable power were now drifting helplessly. Systems offline, commanders panicked. The Empire's confidence was shattered, replaced with fear. The first phase of turning the tide was complete. Humanity had survived, adapted, and gained the upper hand. The Zephyr could rebuild, but they would never recover their previous certainty. Humanity's intelligence, technology, and strategy had proven that the smallest species could outmaneuver the greatest empire in the galaxy. And somewhere, in the darkness of space, other civilizations began to take notice. Whispers of human ingenuity and cunning spread quietly. The galaxy was awakening to a truth it could no longer ignore. Humans were strong, adaptable, and dangerous. The tide had turned. Humanity was no longer the hunted. Humanity was the hunter. The galaxy held its breath. After months of quiet preparation, precise strikes, and calculated chaos, humanity had gained the upper hand. The Zephyr Empire, once arrogant and untouchable, was scattered, weakened, and uncertain. But Captain Elena Reyes knew the war was not over. The final strike was coming, a decisive blow that would show the galaxy the true power of humanity. Elena stood on the bridge of the Aurora, watching the holographic projections of the Zephyr fleets. Small lights flickered in scattered formations, their patrols disorganized, their energy systems partially disabled. "This is it," she said softly. "The moment they believed they could control us has ended. Now we take everything we've learned and strike where it hurts the most." Lieutenant Kieran Das leaned over the console, studying the map. "Captain, the main Zephyr command center is heavily shielded, but with our cloaked warships and disruptors we can penetrate it. If we succeed, it will end their leadership and their empire's confidence simultaneously." Elena nodded. "Every unit must perform perfectly. Precision, patience, and adaptability. One mistake could expose us. One success could change the galaxy forever." On Earth, Dr. Amina Patel monitored the fleet from the command center. "All systems are ready," she said. "Cloaking, AI guidance, energy disruptors, they are performing flawlessly. This is humanity's moment." In orbit above a distant asteroid belt near the Zephyr homeworld, the human fleet gathered in silence. Cloaked ships drifted among space rocks, invisible to enemy sensors. Stealth fighters waited in formation, engines idling, weapons charged. Drones hovered silently, ready to disable shields, scramble communications, and create phantom attacks to confuse the enemy. Elena addressed the fleet. "Today we do not fight blindly. Today we strike with intelligence, precision, and courage. The Zephyr believe they are untouchable. They will learn painfully that humanity cannot be ignored. Execute the plan exactly as trained. Humanity survives, adapts, and conquers." Lieutenant Mara Chen piloted her stealth fighter through the asteroid field. Captain, sensors show their defenses are still on high alert, but confusion is spreading. They don't know where the fleet is. They think it's in one sector, while we're preparing to strike another. "Excellent," Elena said. "Let them waste their strength on shadows while we move for the decisive blow." In the Zephyr command center, High Commander Varn paced frantically. "We cannot find them! They are everywhere and nowhere!" "How can a species so small manipulate our entire fleet?" General Tarek watched silently.
"Sir, they have outthought us."
"They are not only stronger than we imagined, they are intelligent, adaptable, and relentless." Varn's tentacles slammed on the console. "Intelligence? Adaptable? They are insignificant. Destroy them." But it was too late. Humanity's final strike was already in motion. Cloaked warships infiltrated the outer defense rings, deploying energy disruptors that neutralized weapons before they could fire. Drones disabled shields and communications, while stealth fighters targeted critical infrastructure. Every movement was precise, deliberate, and unstoppable. Lieutenant Kieran guided his unit through the chaos. "Captain, the central power core is exposed. Drones have disabled the outer shields. We have a direct path to the command center." Elena's voice was calm and commanding. "Proceed with the strike, one step at a time. Precision over speed. Humanity's reputation is on the line." Inside the Zephyr command center, alarms blared. Systems failed one by one. Shields dropped. Communications broke. Officers scrambled to repair the damage, but their efforts were futile. Every response by the Zephyr only played into the humans' hands. The Empire's once feared technology was now a liability. High Commander Varn roared. "Impossible. This cannot happen." "How can they?" General Tarek interrupted quietly. "Sir, they are using our own arrogance against us. Humanity is not weak. They are extraordinary." Elena watched the holographic displays of the command center, her eyes steady. "This is what it means to be underestimated," she said softly. They believed in their invincibility. They believed they were untouchable. They were wrong. The human fleet pressed forward. Cloaked warships bypassed remaining patrols. Drones disabled security systems, and stealth fighters struck with surgical precision. The Zifar command center, once a symbol of power, now stood vulnerable, exposed, and isolated. Lieutenant Mara Chen piloted her fighter close to the core. "Captain, the energy conduit is ready. Target locked." "Execute," Elena said. A pulse of concentrated energy from the disruptors swept through the Zifar systems. Shields collapsed. Weapon systems failed. Communication arrays went dark. The command center's defenses crumbled, leaving it completely exposed. Inside the Zifar command room, officers screamed in panic. High Commander Varn slammed his tentacles against the console in fury. This is impossible." "How can they do this?" General Tarek looked on silently, knowing the end had come. Humanity had outmaneuvered, outsmarted, and outlasted the empire that had once ruled the galaxy with arrogance and fear. On the human command bridge, Elena allowed herself a brief smile. "The galaxy has learned the truth. Humanity is not weak. Humanity is intelligent, adaptable, and unstoppable when united." Lieutenant Kieran spoke quietly.
"Captain."
"They're evacuating the command center. The Zifar leadership is fleeing." Elena nodded. "Let them flee. Our point is made. Humanity has struck hard. We do not need to chase ghosts. The galaxy now knows who rules the battlefield of intellect, courage, and strategy." Back on Earth, Dr. Patel and her team cheered softly as they observed the final operation. "Humanity has done it," she whispered. "They have survived, struck decisively, and shown the galaxy their true strength." As the humans regrouped, the Zifar Empire faced a reality it could no longer deny. Their fleets were scattered, their command disrupted, and their confidence shattered. A species they had once dismissed as weak had risen, adapted, and struck with precision and intelligence. High Commander Varn, defeated and humiliated, could only watch as the humans withdrew into stealth. "This is not over," he growled. "We will rebuild. We must rebuild." General Tarek shook his head. "Sir, they have changed the game. Humanity cannot be ignored ever again." Elena stood silently on the observation deck, gazing at the stars. "They thought they could crush us. They thought we were weak. But humanity survives, adapts, and strikes. This is our legacy. The galaxy will remember this day. The first human fleet returned to Earth's orbit. Cloaked ships drifted unseen. Fighters rejoined their formations, and drones returned quietly to their stations. Humanity had struck hard, not for conquest, but for survival, recognition, and respect. The galaxy had learned a new truth. Humans were not weak, insignificant, or primitive. They were intelligent, adaptable, and capable of defeating even the greatest empire when united in strategy and purpose. Elena spoke quietly to her officers. "Today we showed the galaxy the meaning of human strength. We did not conquer through sheer numbers. We conquered through intelligence, courage, and precision. And this is only the beginning." Lieutenant Kieran smiled. "The galaxy will never underestimate humanity again." Elena looked at the stars, a sense of calm determination in her eyes. "No, they will not. And the humans who follow us will ensure that our strength, ingenuity, and courage are never forgotten. Humanity strikes hard, and humanity endures." The stars glittered silently above, but the galaxy itself had changed. The Zifar Empire, proud and arrogant for centuries, had finally learned its first lesson in fear and humanity. Humanity had risen, stronger, smarter, and ready to face whatever the universe might throw at it next. The war had reached a turning point, and the galaxy would never be the same again.